Hey there YouTube, I'm Yukitsu, this is the Yukitsu Times. Welcome to my channel, welcome to Total War Warhammer. So we're just doing some quick battles, see how things are in this patch. Now things I think have shaken up and settled down a little bit. I haven't actually played this game very much this patch, unfortunately, because with Civ 6 being announced, I kind of want to make sure that I beat Civ 5 on deity difficulty, because that's something I like to do before the new one comes out. It's not actually that special to be able to do it. I'm not particularly good at Civ. It's just you learn how to exploit the AI. It's still hard, but you basically just have to figure out like the proper way to exploit the AI, and eventually you'll get to the point where you can beat it on deity level. But yeah, it requires a lot of really sort of dubious things like early settler or worker steals, especially against your opponents. But and a lot of just buying off city states, I find is one of the most important things. Even though the AI has such huge advantages, it's not always possible for them to keep them off. But yeah, so I haven't actually played a whole lot of this. Don't really know what's going on, but I do know what I've been hearing. That is that basically people have been taking a lot of just generic heroes and stuff like that with the healing potions and stuff like that, having them last a really, really long time, which I think is probably an interesting way of using them. Now, I don't know for sure that I really want to try doing that, just because I don't think that they necessarily have the killing speed of units that are sort of similar costs. So I feel like that's not necessarily the right way to go. I don't. I get the feeling that my opponent probably isn't actually going to be playing as Bretonia, and I kind of So I'll play as Bretonia. We'll go ahead and pick the Lindley Core here. I do think that he is one of the better ones. Got all his abilities there by default. And do I want to go with the Sword of Coron? I think probably actually. No, I don't think I actually do. Do definitely want him on Beaquist there. Go ahead and get a Damsel. We're not going to hero spam or anything like that, because I just don't think that that's particularly interesting. I did hear that things like Comet and Chain Lightning got buffed. I did like Chain Lightning a lot before, so we'll take that. On foot should be okay. I don't really think that taking a guaranteed miscast just so I can cast 2 of the Chain Lightnings is going to really be that helpful for me. We're going to keep also Curse of the Midnight Wind, because I still think that's a really, really good spell. Minus 34 melee attack, minus 15 armor is pretty good as a combination. We're going to go ahead and pile in a bunch of the spearmen. What map is this? It's a pretty flat one. We're up against the Empire, actually, so I kind of feel like... Oh, great. I really hate mirror matches. Well, let's just see if this guy's just being a douche and actually isn't going to play as Bretonia, because I doubt he will. Yeah, no, he might have just been wanting to check something. Okay, so... One of the things, actually, against the Empire... There's no point, actually, in me taking the Knights of the Realm against the Empire. I'm going to just take, like, 3 Pegasus Knights, and the reason is because, like, he's probably going to take Demigryphs, even though they got nerfed a couple times, which makes it more worthwhile for me to not take Knights of any sort. And this also lets me just completely crush in the air game if I have to. Because if he takes a whole bunch of Amethyst Wizards, I need something that can counter that, and really the only thing that can easily do that is superior air units. And even then, it's kind of stupid, because it's like the Cygor. The Cygor was already really stupid in that list. It's even worse with the Empire, because the Empire has a good roster, the Beastmen don't. So the fact that they can get these free monsters that are probably only worth, admittedly, about 1,000 as compared to 1,600 for the Cygor is still really, really stupid. But we'll see what he is actually doing. This is an open map, so it shouldn't take me too long to rush him if he is doing that strategy, but he might not be. I've got a few archers as well that can take out Manticores pretty okay. I think that there's going to be a ton of people playing Empire in this patch, but that's just my sneaking suspicion about the state of things. Okay. So I'm going to have these guys spread out sort of like this here. Lone Lane Core sort of back here I think is fine. Then we'll have the Damsel sort of like here. Should be okay. So the reason that I don't have the Knights of the Realm is that most Empire players just take Demigryph Knights, and Demigryph Knights are a really good counter against Knights of the Realm. Knights of the Realm don't do anything against them, so it's kind of worth just not taking them. What's going on with that terrain there? Do you think that that terrain wouldn't affect these guys? Yeah, so you can see here he's got like 3 units of Demigryph Knights, 4 units of Demigryph Knights, all with halberds. He's got regular old swordsman for his front line here, so that's not too strong actually. Now, one of the weaknesses of his army is that he doesn't have a whole lot that can stop my Pegasus Knights from just doing this. So we're going to go in and get some quick charges with those. Arrows coming in, that's good. And then we'll want to get them out pretty much right away after this. Alright, let's get these guys out of here. Back in the air. Might have to put guard mode on or something. Need to get these guys out of the line of fire. So Pegasus Knights, if they get caught on ground, are completely helpless, so I need to get them out of here. He's taken a lot of arrow fire doing this. Alright, let's go ahead and just pop Chain Lightning. It's not probably the best positioning, but I don't know where it's going to scatter. So, obviously, just sort of put it where... Oh, that was a good scatter. It was a good scatter. Alright, so, looks like he's piling a couple of units into this one spot here. Let's get our Pegasus Knights charging back into these guys. Alright. So one of my Pegasus Knights got shredded so badly, I think that's basically out of the fight, but let's go ahead and charge this guy, I think. See if we can get him before he can use Accusation. Probably not, because Accusation comes out pretty damn fast, but... Alright. So let's get some shots on these guys. Alright, so he took out the Accusation guy. Let's go ahead and get around over here. Now, he's not really any good against the Demigryph Knights with halberds, but... Foe Seeker and the like ought to help a bit. Let's go ahead and pop Curse the Midnight Wind on these guys. Don't think there's anywhere really great to put this out, but... I need to get these guys out of the fight here. Oh, I walked into melee. Alright, well... It's out of range. Alright, let's get all these guys into this fight. Oh, that lovely French accent. Alright, so we've taken out all the archers, except for these ones. Crossbows, rather. There are no archers here, except on my team. Alright, starting to see some breaking from my opponent. It's good. He's kind of trying to get around behind me with these Demigryph Knights, it seems. Alright. I think Llewellyn can actually take these guys out in this context here. Oh, my damsel is going to be in trouble here. No, got cancelled. If you get knocked around, it gets cancelled, so... Oh, got it. There we go. Oh wow, that is a lot more powerful than I remember it being. And then it destroys me, but you know, I've already kind of won at this point in time, so at this point in time, close victory. Alright. Yeah, so it's a compositional thing. My opponent didn't actually do that sort of expected thing of taking loads and loads of heroes, which is what people have been advertising, or taking loads and loads of the just summoning spells, which I think are going to be really popular still. So it'll be interesting to see what people do about that sort of thing. I want to try Dwarves next, actually. I think that sort of new rune system, those runes, is going to make them a little bit better, but at the same time, a lot of the other factions kind of got buffed, in my opinion, as well. So it's going to be probably pretty difficult to win with them right now. Basically have a feeling like I'm going to lose this one, but, you know, give it a shot. It's just for fun. Alright, so he's playing as Beastman. I'm perfectly okay with that. Actually, we'll go with the generic and then go with the... Oh, right, I forgot. They don't get healing potions on their lords. Because dwarves never get anything useful. Alright, Master Engineer... No, that wasn't it. Master... Okay, we're going to take all of them. Alright, and then we'll take a couple of those guys. So we're going to go with the hero sort of thing here. We're going to take like 5 of these guys. We're going to take like 3 Insta Slayers. And then we're going to take some Quarrelers. Going to get rid of these abilities. Drop the price on this guy. Then we're going to take the Healing Potion, Potion of Toughness. Potion of Toughness. Then another unit of Quarrelers. And that is basically all we can take. So I'm taking this composition specifically for going up against Beastmen. I wouldn't recommend it against really anything else. Just because I don't think that dwarves really do too well when they're relying heavily on dwarf warriors. But at the same time, like, I think that they do quite okay against everything that the Beastmen have. They don't have very many good armor-piercing units other than the Minotaurs and the Bestigors, and the Bestigors aren't great, so I'm assuming lots and lots of Minotaurs, in which case, like, the crossbows help, unless he takes the Minotaurs with shields, in which case the Slayers can counter them, so we'll see which of those sort of things he takes. And, like, if he takes an all-Minotaur with shields army, his army's going to be puny, so it's not really too bad for me. Especially if I wade in there with my Rune Priest and just pop all the runes. Alright, so these guys, I'm actually going to put them up front so that they can actually tank out the initial charges and stuff like that, because they're so tough. Like, they can actually take a horrible charge and still be alive. And then we're going to spread these guys out here, just in case my opponent has lots of shooting or something like that. I don't want them in the front. And then we're going to have our Rune Priest and our Slayer King over here. Actually, we'll have these guys a little bit further. No, we'll have our crossbows sort of in the front, and then we'll move our dwarf line in front of it if things go bad. So, alright, so this is our formation here. It's a fairly small list. This is a very hero-heavy one, which I still think is kind of not really my style, but we'll see how it works. We got the potions over here. You can use them sort of one after the other, and they heal a lot of hit points. I think that they were probably something they needed to add to, like, all the characters or something, because, like, it's a little bit weird that the generics can get it, and well, even the generic Dwarf Lord can't, but they're kind of useful, so people tend to take them. Just means that there's even less reason, though, to take, like, dwarves, because their general's a little bit easier to snipe than most. You know what, I feel like I'm being baited into turning this way, so I'm going to move back and rotate. And, I don't really have a preferred angle of attack here. I just know that, like, since there's so much impassable terrain here, like, either he's going to... Yeah, there's something around over here. Yeah, there's some stuff back here. There might be some stuff on my other side as well. So we're going to turn and face like this. Yeah, there's a Gorbel, Minotaurs, more Minotaurs. These aren't Minotaurs with shields, though, so we can shoot them down. Gore herds I'm not too terrified by. I mean, Dwarf Warriors can do perfectly fine against that sort of thing. Not 100% sure what these Poisonous Chaos Warhounds think they're going to be doing from that angle, but it'll be interesting to see what they end up doing. Okay, so we just need to get ready to move up with these guys as soon as they notice, at a moment's notice, sort of thing. There's probably a Cygor over there, yep. Fortunately, my Dwarf Warriors are relatively cheap, so it's not too bad if they're getting shot up, but I'm going to still split this one off and have it move forward to engage that guy. I'm going to have the Quarrelers over here fire at that. These ones over here fire at these guys. Alright, so we got our potions active now. Alright, I kind of want to Rune of Wrath and Rune of the Chaos Warhounds because they're going to be fast and hard for me to catch up to. Minotaurs don't take much damage from that sort of thing just because they're one of those sort of units that has a lot of hit points per model. There's something over here, I'm telling you. Oh no, that's these guys, okay. Here's the nice thing about Quarrelers. My Quarrelers are like winning in this fight against these Ungor Raiders, even though there's 3 Ungor Raiders. That's the difference in quality here that we've got going, so there really is that big a difference between them. Oh wow, my Dwarf Warriors got hit by a really big hit there. Okay, so who's this? Malagor. He's going to be using Devolve on these guys. They're kind of spread out from anything else, so I'm not too unhappy about that. So it'll deal some good damage to my Quarrelers, but I'm not too worried about it. Alright, so we've dealt a lot of damage to all of these Ungor Raiders and stuff like that, and they've been moving backwards, so they haven't been dealing damage to me. Alright. So my Rune Priest is perfectly capable of tanking it out and beating those sorts of things, so we're not going to worry about that charge there. Got some Minotaurs coming in. Gorbel and going to have my Slayers start coming in here. Actually, these Slayers should go over this side, and these ones should go over to this side. Goreherd over here, running forward. I'm going to run these guys back a bit. I'm going to charge my general and some support into this, but yeah, he has broken through my Dwarf Warriors over there, but his Minotaurs are now fighting against my Slayers, which is fantastic for me. Okay, this is a bad clump. This is like a really bad clump. Fire at these guys. My general's getting caught up on something pretty badly. Alright. Let's pop this on just the guys right in front of us. Armor as well. Alright, we can fight Malagor one-on-one with our general. How's this hero doing? He's doing poorly, so we'll have him pop his potion. First one out of many, by which I mean 2, so not really that many. I'm gonna have this guy run in there. Yeah, this guy's summoned 2 Cygors, so I don't think he's going to be able to pull through with it, though. What's this first unit of Slayers fighting? Oh, I'm gonna get them out of this fight, actually. This is a bad fight for them. It's not actually, like, one they're gonna lose or anything, but it's not one they're going to lose or anything. It's just one that they're kind of wasting their points on. He's moved his, these Cygors are dealing a lot of damage to me, but not enough. Alright. Just random singing in the background, just ignore it. Alright, and there goes most of his army. Malagor the Dark Omen's about to go down. The Minotaurs have, like, just forced their way as hard as they can into my Quarrelers, but that Gorbel pretty much back up to full health. It's just the way of things. Our Quarrelers are pretty close to out of ammunition, though. I'm just trying to hit my general with it. Alright, let's get into that side. Actually, no, let's get into the back of these guys. Alright, this Minotaur unit's pretty much gone, so I'm not going to worry too much about it. Ouch. So one thing people have been complaining about with the changes to heroes and stuff like that, that's made them much more survivable. It does make the game take longer, and, you know, not in really a good way. Alright, let's get in there. Kill Malagor. I don't know why this gore herd is lasting so long. Like, there's really no excuse for it. Alright, let's just get that going on there. So that'll probably drop a couple of those guys there. So, yeah, have you, killed the general? No. There he is. Go finish him off. Gorbel over here has lost his morale and is running, which is good. That's how I actually honestly recommend getting rid of those sort of things. There should be another Bray Shaman around here somewhere, unless my opponent actually paid for 2 of those things. Which, I don't think he would do. Okay, I need that speed. Good. Good. Got him. He's firing arrows at Ungrim Iron Fist, and that's really just not going to do anything. Alright, at this point in time, my opponent, though he's got tough units, is going to chain route from the battlefield. And that is going to be a victory for the dwarves. Yeah, just a little bit over-reliant on certain things. Like, these gore herds just don't do anything to dwarves. Ungors don't do anything against dwarves. Chaos Warhounds with poison, they're kind of okay against dwarves. The poison's nice. The Minotaurs are great against dwarves, but Slayers do counter them relatively cost-effectively, and my, like, Thanes were doing a really good job there, as well as the Runesmith. I think they're a little bit more cost-effective sometimes than the Gorbel, except the Gorbel, of course, being armor-piercing, anti-large, gives it really good bonuses that makes it hard to counter directly. It's just that, you know, when you're playing dwarves, you don't really care, because you don't have anything large, and all your stuff's armored anyway, so. Alright, one more. Do I want to try Beastmen on this one? Probably not, actually. I think we're probably going to end up playing against them. So let's go with Greenskins. I think that they're actually really good this patch as well. Go with traditional Azag the Slaughterer here. Just drop down a couple of spells. I kind of want to see if Purple Sun got improved to the point where it's good now. So we're going to try that. Up against Beastmen, I'm going to keep Spirit Leech just because. We're going to go ahead and have like 3 Goblin Big Bosses. We're going to have like so many Goblin Big Bosses just because they're practically free. Like, I love these guys just so much. Just because they're so dumb, really. Alright, then we're going to take healing potions on them. Here's the problem, though. Like, I haven't even figured out what I want to take for my army. Savage Orcs are the go-to for... Savage Orc Biggins, rather, are the go-to against these guys. I do think that the regular Orc Arrow Boys are better than Orc Boar Biggins. Then we'll just use Goblin Wolf Rider as filler, and then some experience points. So, I mean, this is fine. So the reason that I think that Orc Arrow Boys are a little bit better than the Goblins in this particular case is that they just have a little bit more damage per shot, so a lot of the tough beasties go down a little bit faster against the Orc ones, and you never know when he's going to just spring a trap and just have some units coming around from Lord knows where to attack them, so I think that they do just a little bit better in this matchup, but at the same time, I do think that the Goblin Archers, like having more of them since you're not facing off against a lot of armor, can also be really, really good against these guys, so maybe I should have taken... no, I still think these have done a little bit better for me, but cost difference is such a difficult thing to adjust for. Alright, so I'm again taking Lore of Death rather than the Little Wa. Little Wa is something I like taking as a support secondary, but not if I'm going to be taking 3 goblins with healing potions. I didn't take both potions because it's a little bit overkill in their case. And they're probably actually going to die so immediately that I probably shouldn't have even bothered. Alright, so let's stretch these guys out here. We'll take this here. Now, normally you would want to sort of have your anti-large things swoop around and get at the Minotaurs, but it's a little bit less necessary for the Orcs because they can obviously just deal with that problem in their own sort of derpy little way. Alright. I'm going to do something a little bit unethical here. I'm going to have all 3 of my spiders in one clump. And I'm going to have to remember that the proper way to deal with them is with the unit bar rather than figuring out which one's low health by clicking on the icon, because that's just not going to work. So as soon as one of them gets a little bit low, we're going to pop the potions on them, but through this thing, I'm not even going to know where they are. They're probably all going to be in the same clump, but this way, like, this flank is ridiculously weighted because there's 3 heroes in, like, one little thing here. There's that poison stacking with everything else. Winds of Magic is pretty high this match, so... Alright, my opponent's got some units on my flank here. Warhounds. I don't really want to fight Warhounds with my Goblin Wolf Riders all that much, so we're going to leave that be. These are Gore Herds and Minotaurs, okay. And he's got a couple Bray Shamans, at least. Cygor's coming up. Can I overcast this? I forget what it does when it's overcast. Let's figure out. I think it's extra duration, but I'm not 100% sure. Alright, so there's the poisonous warhounds coming around the back there. I do have to keep an eye out for them, of course, but I'm not super worried about them or anything like that. Alright, so this is going to be a derpy attack, but... Where's this Gorble? Yeah, I miscast, I think. Alright. That Purple Sun is actually doing not a terrible job, in all honesty. It's getting a good scatter, too. I'm going to use this on the Gorble here. We're going to charge these hounds. Alright, the Minotaurs are around back and they're keeping their distance for fairly good reasons. I'm going to need to use Azag to deal with these hounds, possibly. No, they're going to die before I have to worry about that. Okay, second Cygor coming up. Alright, so all of our goblins are doing pretty well. Oh, crap. Alright, so... Alright. Psych, not gonna charge. Alright, how are my goblins all doing? They're actually all pretty much full health. Oh, fantastic. Chaos Warhounds over here getting a little bit trashed. This Minotaur unit is getting completely trashed. That Goblin Swarm is doing work. Oh, that Minotaur unit's actually broken through over here. Alright. Mixed with the Gorble, I'm actually not that surprised. Alright, we need to move these guys back. Alright, so these are both Ungor Raiders, right? Yeah, they're both Ungor Raiders. Good. So we can deal with that. No problem. Oh, crap. My archers need to run here. Is that the Gorbel there? Yeah, that's the Gorbel, so we don't want to target him. Oh, we're actually running there from his Chaos Warhounds with poison. Like, those things are surprisingly good. I wouldn't underestimate them if I were anybody, but... Alright, let's go after Malagor here. Ooh, we might lose this actually just from morale break. And our Arrow boys are walking forward into the Minotaurs for some reason too. Like, that's not ideal, of course. Alright, well, we still have got like 3 of these goblins. And they're pretty much all full health, so... should be relatively okay. Alright, let's charge into these Chaos Warhounds. These Minotaurs are almost dead. Alright, so Malagor got taken out surprisingly quickly. If we can kill Malagor, then we're going to be just fine. The Spray Shaman I don't really care about too much, but just getting him off the field is going to be a morale break, so... Alright, let's fire at this Gorbel here, so I've got nothing better to shoot at. Killed their general, good. One of our goblins looks like he's in a little bit of a pickle, but he's got his healing potion still. Let's go ahead and use it. Because it doesn't heal instantly, it does heal over time. I want to just run these guys down here, I want to make sure they're gone. These goblin heroes are tearing these Minotaurs apart. They're like weakened Minotaurs, but still. That Gorbel, still alive, still kicking, still full health. So that's fun. Alright, let's charge a goblin into him. Hell, let's charge 3 goblins into him. Alright. Are these guys actually shattered yet? No, jeez. Come on, shatter, man. Ungor Raiders, jeez. Alright, I want these guys to shatter more than I want anything else to shatter, so we're gonna make sure that they're gone. Is this Cygor dead yet? I don't think that that's a guaranteed kill, so we're gonna stick on it. Alright, so Gorbel deals really good damage, and it does AoE even to my little Night Goblins here, or my little Goblin heroes, so... That poison effect, though, like, it's really taking a hold on it. Oh man, and look at that repeated charging. Yeah, there we go. Okay. I didn't even really need the healing potions, because I think it's about half your health that it heals for, and I don't think any of my goblins got below half health after the heal, so... Yeah, no, they're all still pretty close to full, so they would have been... Well, maybe they would have broke from morale, so... I mean, maybe it was still a good idea. But, yeah, this worked out really, really well. Like, I really like Savage Orc Biggins against Beastmen. I think that they're one of the best matchups in the game, so that worked out surprisingly well for me. I was loving Azag in this one, 117 kills, too. That's just so good. So yeah, like, the potions with heroes thing can be effective. The mass summoning thing is definitely a real thing. I've done it. I still don't think that I've ever seen anyone use more than 2 in a real fight, and I don't think it's really practical to take more than 2, but it's still really, really strong. I think that Lore of Death is still really good. That Purple Sun was surprisingly okay. Like, I was watching the damage it was doing as it was going through units. It wasn't, like, spectacular or anything, but it was good enough. The Cygor I still think is way too strong for what you get it for, and I think that holds back the rest of the Beastmen list as a whole, because you could really upgrade them as a faction and make them a stronger faction if you got rid of their ability to summon free Cygors. which is a bit of a shame because like it's such a ridiculously overvalued spell, and you see people taking like 2, 3, or whatever of that, and it still is a balanced army. So if you don't have access to that, just how shitty is this faction? I'd imagine it's actually pretty bad. But anyway, I hope you found this video enjoyable, and of course, as always, I hope to see you all next time.